Peace everyone, welcome back to the Drawing Journal. I'm Mascart here, and hope everybody had an exciting week. My week has been extremely busy. School started back up, so I've got that going on. I finished this drawing last week. If you want to see a better picture of it, you can check it out pretty much on all the social media sites that you can find me on. I don't know why I'm flipping to it. I sketched this one out, so this is what I'm working on now for the Drawing Journal. It's a figure of a guy. I figured did some females, time to work on some more masculine anatomy. Guys are just as hard. So it's going to be probably a pretty boring drawing watching the process here because it's going to be a lot of black for right now. So I'm just kind of filling in all the negative space with black. I'm working on the goal, and the reason I'm practicing with a drawing like this is I'm really trying to push the limits to my contrast on this paper. I have a new subscriber portrait that I did last week or whatever I posted, so you can check that out. You can see how I did on that. And then also this past Tuesday I did a collaboration video with fellow YouTube artist Alexandra Art is her page, and yeah, it was a really cool experience to do that, and hope to do some more in the future. And then also I finally finished the painting. If you follow me on any of my social media sites, you will already know this, but I have the time lapse up, and I'm really glad that it's finally done. Though I'm trying to think of another painting that I'm going to be working on in the future, and even my YouTube partner shared a video on Twitter, so I was pretty excited about that. Hopefully it will get a little bit more traffic, bring in some new subscribers. I'm almost to 1,900, which is exciting. I've gotten about 50 new subscribers in the past month, so that's really cool to see. My goal was to just get to 2,000 by the end of the year, but it looks like I'll probably be getting to that in just another month or so. So that's kind of cool, and appreciate all the support that I get from everybody. Really, I do. I feel like I say it a lot, but I never get tired of saying it and letting everybody know that I do. And also, on top of finishing the painting and posting the video, I also got prints made of the painting. Got a bunch of them. I plan on giving all of these away to people that support me on Patreon. So if you want to get a free one of these, just head over to my Patreon page and make a pledge. Even just $1 a month, so like that would be $12 a year. And I intend to make more prints in the future of different paintings that I do or other works that I do, and pretty much always give them away. And for anybody that makes a larger contribution, of course they will make. I will give them a larger print, and as I reach more milestones for my Patreon, I will increase the size of the prints, and I will continue to give them away for free because I do this for fun. I'm not trying to make a career out of it. I mean, I'm getting a career by going to school, but it does help alleviate a little bit of the cost so that I'm able to give away stuff to everybody. And yeah, so there's that. So I'm excited about. This week in school has been intense. I'm taking 4 classes this summer, but right now I'm currently only in 3 of them. The way they split up the quarter, so it's a bit different. I won't go into detail about that, but yeah, 2 math classes right now. I'm taking number theory and axiomatic geometry, and they're both pretty fun. Number theory right now is kind of boring because it's so focused on more like computer engineering stuff, and like my major is in computer engineering, so it doesn't really interest me all that much. But hopefully we'll get past it and focus more on pure number theory, something a little less related to how they encrypt credit card numbers and send them over the internet. Like, that's not interesting to me at all. But yeah, I'm glad it's Friday. Geez, it's been a long, tough week, and I have plenty to do in the next few weeks. Not only with school, but preparing other things as well, and yeah, trying to draw also. I haven't done a lot of it. I feel like all week I haven't felt like I prepared much of anything, but I'm glad I can finally sit down and draw a little bit. Though this, like I said, this one's not going to be too fun to watch as far as progression of the drawing, but the drawing journal's not for you, it's for me. But if you want to ask me any questions, you know where to put them. And speaking of questions, I might as well take a look at the questions I do have. So the first question is, what is the last movie I saw in theaters? And the last movie I saw was last September when I was visiting my family back in Ohio, and it was Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and it was terrible. I don't know if you saw it, spoiler alert, like, it's terrible. Like, it crushes childhood dreams. The first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, like, it just had a really kind of dark, mature atmosphere to the whole video, or the whole movie. But this one was just, jeez. Michael Bay needs to stop producing movies, seriously. And everybody needs to stop giving him so much money to do it. Or making him so much money by going and watching them. Because, geez, I'm just so tired of, like, the same garbage that comes from him. It's just terrible. They're such lame movies. They have no depth at all. They're just the worst action movies ever made. Anyways, yeah, that was a tangent. Yeah, so next question. What's your next social engagement? My next social engagement. I don't have social engagements. The only social engagements I have are on the internet through YouTube and Facebook and stuff. I never leave my room. I have like 12 roommates, and I think I know like 3 of their names. And I've lived with maybe 2 of them for almost a year. But yeah, it's no social engagements for me. I mean, I don't even talk to people at school, really. just try to pay attention in class and do my work. I've tried to like I've like introduced myself to people and like said in my class and be like, hey, you know, you want to get together and study? And actually, a guy just talked to me like yesterday or something like that. I forget his name. I'm terrible with names. I'm awful. Oh, geez, I'm so bad at names. Sometimes I feel bad, but then I just forget. But he like we took our first quiz or whatever. Yeah, it was the second day of this class, and we already had a quiz. But that's math classes at UW for you, especially in the summer. But like he came out of the quiz, and I asked him how he did, and I don't know. He seemed pretty confident, and I felt pretty confident about the quiz, surprisingly, because it was like I didn't get it. I didn't get the material until like 5 seconds before we took the quiz. So I'm curious as to how well I did, and especially in comparison to how well the rest of the class did, because we were doing what was I don't even remember what it was called. I think it was just Euclidean algorithm, which is just determining the greatest common divisor of two numbers. I won't. It's not complicated at all. Like it's literally nothing more than multiplication and addition. It's very, very, very basic, very easy to do. I could teach anybody off the street to do it in literally five minutes. And but we kind of like went over stuff before the quiz, and I kind of liked the way the teacher did it, and I might even like adopt a similar teaching method whenever I become a teacher, because that's what I'm going to school for. Well, right now I'm going to school for math, but I will finish this next year and start my master's program for teaching. But so each step of the problem, like he would just call on a different student, and they would have to say, okay, what do you do next? And it kind of like there was a lot of students that didn't do it correctly. They didn't say the step correctly. And I mean, I can't really emphasize the simplicity of this algorithm. And I mean, it's just multiplication. And it's a junior level class, so it's not like you got to this class by accident, you know. And oh geez, I forgot my train of thought. Sometimes it's hard to draw and think of a different subject and not focus on the drawing. But yeah, a lot of students just they said the next step incorrectly, and it was just like, oh gosh, you know, how well could you have done on the test, because the test was literally what we did, or what he was having us do in class, with the exception of a few questions. And it was just it's kind of comforting to see people like struggle. That sounds terrible, I know. In math class, though, every math student is thinking the same thing. It's like it's very comforting to know that other people don't get it, because it's sometimes intimidating to ask a question that you think everybody else understands, I mean, even though I know this, like, not just as a student, but also in the teaching kind of paradigm, like, I know that it's embarrassing to ask the teacher to clarify something that you think is too simple, too easy to waste the time asking, and then of course you feel like, oh well, nobody else is asking the question, so I must be the only idiot in class that doesn't get this super simple concept. But then the truth is, half the class is sitting there. Half the class is sitting there, like not even knowing what to follow, and struggling just as much as the next person. And this is evident when grades are posted, because I don't know how it is at other schools, but here, like, you get to see what the average score is, like not just on homework, but also on quizzes and tests and everything like that. So you're never unsure of what or how the rest of the class is doing in comparison to you. And so when you get a 70% on the test or quiz or whatever, and the median is like 60, well, you know you're getting 10 points above half of the rest of the class, and that's a significant amount. But even knowing that, even though that you can know that you're doing better than half of the rest of the class, it's still tough to it's still intimidating to ask a question during the lesson, because you still feel like an idiot, even though for reasons I just explained. Oh, jeez, is there even another question left? I don't even remember where I left off. Jeez, I was talking about social engagements and whatever. Well, and the next question is, what is my biggest indulgement? I don't really have indulgements. Like, anybody that knows me, like, real well or whatever, they know that I'm, like, super disciplined. And they're like 80% right about me being like that. I mean, I still have faults. I'm not perfect, but I still am significantly more disciplined than most people are, and I can't really explain why that is. It's not like that was something that was reinforced in me growing up. It was just a choice that I made. So it was, yeah. So that's why I don't really have any indulgence. So yeah, I'm gonna have to say none. That's the last question, so I don't know what else I'm gonna talk about. But yeah, like I said, this picture is pretty boring to watch. In my opinion, it would be. I don't even feel like I really did anything. Like, I have the outline, and you can see the sketches a little bit. They're just scribbles, kind of. But yeah, not the most exciting, but just I think this picture will come out looking pretty cool. I really, really want to build up the contrast as best as I can, because I want to push the limits with with not only these colored pencils, but on this paper particularly, because I just feel like I'm not getting the mileage out of it that I can, or that I imagine that I can. And it's partly it's partly my fault. It's all my fault, because I don't know how many of you watching this are artists yourself, or you just like to listen to me talk. But value and contrast, I mean, they're very similar, but they are the two hardest things to capture as an artist. I don't care what anybody says. Value and contrast, like, those are the pinnacle of good work, because you can have a really nicely drawn picture. I mean, it perfect. Like, imagine a perfectly drawn portrait. Everything is proportional. Everything looks, all the lines are correct. But you only go from like a medium dark gray to like a light gray. You never get that pure black that you have like I have right here. You just kind of get like this grainy, dark gray color, and then you get like this lighter gray color, and the whole image looks like that. It's gonna be it will be a mediocre portrait, no matter how accurately drawn it is. And the greatest struggle is getting over the fear of really, really laying down the colors. It's easier to overcome when you're just working with black and white or whatever, like a regular graphite on white paper. But when it comes to color, I see it all day long. I see it all the time. Artists just they just don't get the contrast, and I have to give it up to the digital artists on this side of things. They have it easy, because they can just choose black. But if they're working with color, yeah, then it's a little bit more of a challenge, because sometimes black isn't the darkest color, and that sounds really weird, but when you're working with real life colors and shadows and things like that, sometimes black isn't the darkest color when you have other colors in the picture. Black just, sometimes it doesn't look good. Yeah. And I think I'll finish up this video here. I mean, I'm not going to do anything significant with this drawing. Hopefully I can work on it a little bit over the rest of the weekend and during the week before I come back next Friday. And yeah, maybe it will be a little bit more interesting to see where I get with it, and yeah, go from there. Anyways, thanks for watching if you made it this far. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and any of the other videos that you care to watch. And if you haven't seen the time lapse of me painting this, I definitely recommend it. It was fun to do. I enjoy watching it. I try to make my videos enjoyable to watch. There's tons, just way too much, way too many artists doing time lapses on YouTube, and I try to set myself apart by making the highest quality videos, and the most dynamic videos, and the most enjoyable videos that I can. And I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job so far. So if you agree, let me know in the comments, blah blah blah, all that fun stuff, and I will see you next week. Peace.